With the new NBA season coming upon us, it is time to take a look at all the new and exciting prospects that it has to offer. The 2024 to 2025 NBA season will begin next month, but we can start exploring a bunch of different facets of the league and the new changes that it has to offer. In today's video, I'll be taking a look at the top 10 players in the NBA currently, as we are going into this new season. Of course, this list is purely subjective, and your opinions might differ from mine. But at the end of the day, this is my personal ranking of all the players, and I guarantee you some of these will shock you. This is actually my first YouTube video, so it would be greatly appreciated if you showed some love and support. Now without further ado, let's get right into it. First, let's take a look at some of the honorable mentions that didn't quite make it into the top 10, but these are some of the best players that the league has to offer. Kawhi Leonard, even with all his injury issues in the past few seasons, is still a defensive monster and still has a lot to offer on the offensive end. I don't have much to say about Anthony Davis, as he is a stalwart for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns have been a force to reckon with for quite a few seasons now, and he's only getting better with his youth. Jaylen Brown is actually the finals MVP, and even though he didn't quite crack the top 10, he's still one of the best players in the league. And with this new championship that he has earned with the Boston Celtics, they're going to be stronger than ever. Jalen Brunson with the New York Knicks is another interesting player that has burst upon the scene after being traded to the New York Knicks from the Dallas Mavericks, and he'll be something to look forward to into this coming season. Donovan Mitchell has been one of the best players in the league for a few years now, and Victor Wembanyama is only going into his second season, and yet I still think he has a very good chance of being a top 10 player by the end of the season. So even though these players haven't quite made it to the top 10, I did want to give them a shout out before I went into the ranking. Now, coming in at number 10 is Anthony Edwards, who averaged 26, 5 and 5 last year and took his team to the conference finals by going through the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions. They beat them in 7 games, but eventually lost to the Dallas Mavericks. However, his growth and his future potential has more than justified him being in the number 10 spot. I wanted to put him higher, but I just couldn't get over a few of the older players in the league, and I do think he'll be higher on this list by the end of this season. At number 9, we have LeBron James. This saddens me greatly to see him at number 9 instead of top 3 or even number 1 for the past few years, but his age has been catching up to him, and even though he had a stunning season with the United States team at the Olympics, his role, his age, and his conditioning, even though he's one of the best at his age of all time, it will still be something to take a look at in the coming seasons. He still averaged 25, 7 and 8 last year with extremely good efficiency on the from the field and the three-point line, but as I said, his age is catching up to him, and I don't think he's going to be there for quite as long. At number 8, we have Jayson Tatum, and even though he didn't win Finals MVP, as a lot of people try to make fun of him for that, but we have to understand that he's playing in a system of extremely good NBA players at the Boston Celtics, and we have to take into account all of these things. And he did average 27, 8 and 5 and was the leaders in every single statistical category for them in the playoffs, and without them they would not have won this championship, and he is the best player on the team even though he wasn't given the recognition that he deserves. At number 7, we have Steph Curry. Even though last season wasn't as good for him and the Warriors didn't quite make the playoffs, we all know he's the greatest shooter of all time and he can light it up on any given day. And I do think with the team that he has around him going into the season, they might not be contenders, but I do think it's better equipped to help him maximize his shooting potential. Even though they lost Klay Thompson, that will still give him more opportunities to let it fly, because as we all know, Klay does like to shoot some terrible shots at occasions. So this will give him better freedom, but it might also draw the attention more to him, as he is now the clear-cut best player in the team. At number 6, we have Kevin Durant from the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I do think he's better than Devin Booker right now. He is the number one option on their team, in my opinion. He averaged 27 points per game with 6 rebounds and 5 assists last year. An extremely good efficiency. 52, 40, and 85 from the field is insane numbers. And even though his age is catching up to him, just as similar as LeBron, his height, his shooting ability is still makes him poised to be one of the best scorers of all time. At number 5, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He averaged 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists last year and finished second in the MVP voting. I did think that was a little bit high for what he did and accomplished compared to some of the other players in the league, but I do think 5 is a perfect spot for him, and it's something to be proud of, honestly. At his age, with how young the Thunder are, it's something to take a look forward to in the future, what they can become. And I do think the Thunder are a force to be reckoned with. At number 4, we have Joel Embiid, who averaged 34.7 points per game, which is the most in the NBA. However, he didn't get the scoring title because he got injured, unfortunately. But a 70-point game with excellent efficiency from the field and 3-point percentage and the free throw line as well. He is probably a top 2 or top 1 scorer right now in the league. The one who's I think is the best will be coming up shortly, and I do think he is extremely underrated. Of course, a lot of people like to make fun of him for his flopping or exaggeration and trying to foul bait. However, that's just part of the game. He is still one of the best players in the league currently. At number 3, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Averaged 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists last year with excellent efficiency again. However, his 3-point percentage and free throw percentage wasn't something to write home about, but that just boosts how impressive his interior scoring is and still be able to get a 54.5% from the field. We all know he can attack the rim in a way that no one else in the league has ever done throughout history, and it's something that we need to take into account for this next season, because he did get injured in the playoffs, before the playoffs, which is why they didn't make it as far. I thought they would be able to go to the conference finals if he was healthy, at least. So I think the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis are poised to make a good return for this next season, and I think number 3 is a good spot for him. And here is a big surprise at number 2. A lot of you might think that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the league, and I won't be mad at that. I was considering putting him at first. He averaged 26 points per game, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. He was the MVP last year. Amazing efficiency, a playmaking big, unlike something that we have never ever seen before. And he is probably one of the best players in the league, if not the best. And I think I've only placed him at number 2 because the person at number 1, who might be pretty obvious for others right now, I do think he was robbed from MVP last year, and we'll talk about that now, as the number 1 player in the league, in my opinion, is Luka Donic from the Dallas Mavericks. He took his team to the finals this past year, and every team that he beat getting there, in my opinion, were better than him, were better teams than the Dallas Mavericks. He put on a show last year, averaging 34, 9, and 10 with pretty good shooting percentages. He had one of the best scoring seasons of all time. Had, I think, the most points per game, rebounds per game, plus assists per game total in NBA history, which is something that got overlooked a lot when the MVP discussion was happening. And I do think he should have won NBA MVP last year over Jokic and SGA. Because of all these accolades that he has been robbed of before as well. But yeah, that is why I think he is the best player in the league right now. Insane of numbers. I think the best offensive player in the league currently, even over Embiid and Giannis. And he can also pass it like almost no one else in the league, except for maybe Jokic and Tyrese Halliburton. So that is why I've placed him at the first position in this video. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. It would be a big help. I am a new content creator, so this is my first video, so I hope you enjoyed. And let me know if you have any feedback to give me, because I am open to all feedback and criticism. I would like to improve. I am doing this for fun, but it's something that I want to work on as well. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. This is Beyond the Baseline, and we will go beyond again. Thank you.